let's talk about the in-season tournament. We're all fans of the in-season tournament. It has, without question at this point, done what everyone in NBA media hoped it would do, which is create some storylines that people give a shit about in November and December, which is pretty wonderful. But I have to say, having watched the, I guess they were the quarterfinal games, awesome level of competition, awesome to see the league's best players really caring about it, awesome to have the internet think that the refs were rigging things for the Lakers. This is playoff basketball. Like, this is what we want to see in December. So before we get into the matchups, just how much of a win do you guys feel like this is, that we have some games that everyone's excited to talk about and watch?
I love it. It's been incredible. It feels like just about every in-season tournament game has been, good to watch. And we finally got the Final Four locked in, and I feel like the Final Four that we've got, it's the type of Final Four you want, right? You got the big dogs like, Milwaukee and the Lakers, and you got the youngins trying to make their way. Like, you got the Pelicans who are trying to figure shit out, and you got the guy who's having his coming out party out there looking like Davidson Steph Haliburton having his moment. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's perfect. Like, like I said, I think the whole goal was if they can capture the whole March Madness aesthetic, the whole March Madness vibes, like, but with good basketball, unlike what we see with college hoops a lot of times, it will be a winner. They knock it out the park, and they for sure have done that. It's been incredible to watch.
One thing that's cool, too, is the players love it, too. We saw KD talking about it. How much he loves the playing games, too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it matters to these folks.
Super honest KD, not a company man, because he flat out said, yeah, I wasn't rocking with it, but yeah, this shit has won me over, so.
And that's exactly what I was going to say, bro. He wasn't one of the people that was out there selling it. They had to win him. I mean, he's a real hoop fan, right? Like, they had to win him over, like they had to win the timeline over, because there's a lot of people who were making fun of this shit because of how ugly the courts were.
I like the courts though.
Nice.
Like I don't dislike the court. I like the court idea. I think what they did wasn't the best, but the idea is great, and it does feel different during those games. With the high energy as well as with the courts being different, it adds. I think it's special. I just think they didn't nail it like they wanted to, and I think they'll figure that out.
I was going to say the same thing. The courts, like in reality, are not necessarily the prettiest ones, but it works that it's a different type of game.
Right. As soon as you turn the game on, you know what time it is.
Tonight, I was like, oh, right, regular Wednesday night versus last night. It's immediate. It works completely in that sense.
Let's talk about the games coming up on Thursday. As Tyler said, I think exactly what Adam Silver would have wanted in terms of a blend of established stars or team brands against up-and-comers. Pacers, Bucks, obviously always love to see the Bucks, especially with this new lineup in meaningful games. But I think Tyrese Haliburton is already the biggest recipient of the benefits of this tournament, because a guy like that, who's on a team that is just not really going to play nationally televised games, who's having an all NBA caliber season, getting to have national attention on him for like 2 straight weeks, this is exactly like the best case scenario. Because, again, his star arrives now 4 or 5 months early, or even 2 months early if you think he would have sort of popped off at the All-Star game. I think this is a chance for guys like that to make a name for himself. Like, if he's going up against Dame in a meaningful game in Vegas, like, that's like, you couldn't make a better scenario for a dude in his position.
He's a star, bro. Like he's got it all. The game is beautiful. He's fearless. He's got personality. Like, he is hilarious on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like
and on camera, dude, funny as hell in general. Yeah.
Did y'all see the shit where like Bleacher Report or somebody clipped a quote from his interview where he said, "I'm tired of being a loser. I want to make the playoffs and shit." And they just made it, "I'm tired of being a loser" in bold print. And he quote tweeted that shit like, "Y'all are gonna get me memed for years with this." You know what I'm saying? Like,
he knows the game. He knows the game.
He knows the game. He knows how the social media world works and shit. Like, the kid is a star, bro. I mean, he has the charisma and the game to go with it. And the in-season tournament is coming out moment. And like I said, I think that's this is just an ideal situation for what you want in the in-season tournament. You want a young up and coming star or two to have their coming out moment, and you want to see like the heavyweights in the Final Four as well, like we've got with Milwaukee and LA.
I was watching the Haliburton game with the Kings fan. He's from Sacramento.
Ooh.
I was
subject.
I was watching the Kings game. And I brought up Haliburton. And he was like, "We don't talk about him."
That's exactly what that's what my.
I mean, bro. I mean, he said. But the thing is, at the time,
Fox
he was
is so good though. Too.
You said what? You said what?
I mean, the decision came down between Haliburton and Fox, and I don't know how mad you can be that you got De'Aaron Fox out of that. You know, De'Aaron Fox is a bad motherfucker too, dog. You know what I'm saying? So
you could be pretty upset about it for a long time if Haliburton. I mean, I don't know, bro. I mean, I agree with you.
He said he would have liked both of them. That's what he would have liked.
I don't know if Haliburton is this Haliburton with
maybe
De'Aaron.
he's not. And whenever he was playing, he was really good for them, but he was just more efficient. He was like a good role player on the team. He's a star with the Pacers. You feel me?
Yeah.
50, 40, 90 guy. I mean, flirting with it at least every year he's playing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean he's great, but dog, I mean I get like watching the Kings and being like, we could have used, a really efficient 25 points per fucking game. You know what I mean?
With negative 1 turnovers per game. Yeah.
And having the heavy nuts in big moments. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I see why they would miss that, but yeah.
My friend who's a Kings fan won't talk about it either.
Yeah, he was like, he flat out said he looked at me and paused. He wanted the eye contact. You know what I mean? He wanted to sit in the moment. We don't talk about it.
Yeah,
yeah. You feel me?
To me, I'm more excited for this game actually than the Lakers game, just because of the stylistic matchup between two teams who want to win the race to 150 points, and they don't care how many points you score while they're doing it. Tyler made a joke on Twitter. We were talking about what the over/under is going to be. The opening line, and I believe it's already moved up, was 249.5, which would make it I think they said it was the third highest over/under point total of the last 3 decades for the NBA. But that's what everyone's expecting. You're watching this game because you want to watch modern NBA offense at a high level with literally almost no effort to play defense. And I'll be curious to see what level Giannis turns it up to defensively, because that could be the difference in a game where you literally just, all right, let's see who can score more, and you're not really worried about the other end.
Yeah. Who do y'all think wins?
I think Milwaukee does.
Same.
I think they do, but I think in this go ahead. You said what?
I was gonna say Milwaukee looks like they're figuring it out a little bit more each and every game, right? If
second best team in the league right now,
corner, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like right behind Boston, but yeah, I think they win. But with this setup, bro, Pacers could win it all. You feel me? Have a couple of games, get hot. Tyrese do his thing a little bit. We'll see though.
I've got the Bucks. You have the Bucks, Sean?
I have the Bucks for sure. Yeah. But
I just think their ceiling is higher defensively, and I think we've
Wait,
seen.
Jackson, you don't have the Bucks?
No.
Oh, interesting. What's your reason?
I think
He said, "Look how excited he is."
Dude, no, I'm not that excited.
No.
I am mad.
He said
no.
I'm
mad that Tyrese Haliburton is so good and knocked the Celtics out, and the Celtics
With a
have
4-point
a top
play at that. Yeah.
insane play, and the Celtics have a top 5 defense in the league. I mean, this Pacers-Bucks game is going to be 150 to 160. It's going to be insanely fun, and because of that, it can for sure go either way. I'm not that confident in the Pacers.
Yeah.
I just think that if Tyrese Haliburton is doing this against elite defenses, and now Dame is guarding Tyrese Haliburton,
what he dropped 36 on y'all, right?
It's not 1996. He's not going to go. He's not
pointing
at him and guarding him for 40
I know he's not
minutes.
slapping the floor. Or anything.
But they don't have good team defense either, though.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Who's the guy they're going to put in front of him that's really going to slow him down?
Haliburton had 35, 13, and 10 with no turnovers against the Celtics.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
insanity what he's doing.
You notice that sheet, but then you hear it again, and you're still like, what the fuck? You feel me?
All right, let's talk about the other game. Lakers-Pelicans. Pelicans are playing really well. Have been a fun team to watch throughout the in-season tournament. Good example of a team I, as a more casual fan, have probably watched 3 more Pelicans games than I would have at this point in the season if it weren't for this tournament. So how do y'all see this one shaking out? And is there any reason to think, that the refs won't just open the door for a Lakers-Bucks in-season tournament championship game?
Bro, Zion might be the most dangerous player left in that Final Four. You telling me you're going to give that man 500 racks for his horny man fun in Las Vegas? Hey, he going to be out there. He going to be out there looking like 98 MJ, dog. That boy might be in the zone,
the
bro.
shoulder should be in the fadeaway.
Did you see
looking light on
the
his
clip
feet.
Did you see the clip at the press conference today of the reporter asking him and B.I. if they had plans for how they were going to celebrate if they won the whole tournament?
Nah.
I've never seen a professional athlete laugh as hard and as genuinely as Zion laughed at that question. They clearly have plans for the money, bro. I'll just say that. I mean, they looked at each other, Tyler, and then they laughed for 45 seconds. They couldn't stop laughing. Bro.
They've done that before. There's a clip of them when a reporter asked them, like, what's their favorite cities to play in? And Zion said Dallas. And it was like all his...
I saw that.
Did y'all see that shit? And then and the homies was taking him on, like, why Dallas? He was like... reasons. So yeah. So hey, Zion is someone who very much enjoys the spoils of his wealth and his fame, and good for him, I guess.
They laughed, and then Bi goes, "It's something like it's going to be like a good celebration, like regardless." And then Zion pauses and goes, "Yes, sir."
But it's interesting that same interview, Alvarado doesn't make nearly as much as him. Was like, "I'm saving it for my children." Did y'all see that part?
Yeah.
And they finna throw it. They finna throw that somewhere as somebody with a Brazilian.
Yeah, that boy got that boy smiling ear to ear thinking about it. Yeah.
Zion's response was, it's legal here. I don't even have to not tell you what I would spend the money on. Oh shit. Okay, well, so break it down. So you make a good point though, and that's one of the things that was interesting was the most common question at these press conferences today was, what is motivating you, the money or the competitiveness? And actually, I thought it was a really honest set of answers from all four teams. It seemed pretty evenly split. Some of these dudes are like, hey, man, you put me in a tournament, I want to win it. You put me in a historic NBA tournament, I really want to win it. And some of them have been honest. Like the Pacers, someone put it up. I think it might have been Worldwide Wob. Someone put it up about the Pacers.
Of those dudes make less than $3 million or less or something.
It's It's life-changing money for them. And as someone who has known like sort of fringe NBA guys, bro, like you're taxed very highly. I'm not obviously asking anyone to play a violin for NBA guys. If you're sort of a lower tier NBA guy, you come in, you're making a couple million a year. Your cost of living is very high because you have to live in a secure facility, all this other stuff. If you're trying to keep up at all with looking like an NBA player, you also have to spend money on other shit. But then you're taxed very highly on a window of income that could only be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You're like in California, I think it's like 55% of your salary. So $500,000 for these dudes. Now I have bad news for them on the tax front about how bonuses are taxed, I guess.
Is it was it 60%, 50%?
Yeah.
It's
going to take a bite.
less than half of that shit. You feel me? Something like that, yeah.
But genuinely, if you're making under $3 million and they cut you a check for $500,000, like that is significant for you. And a lot of these dudes are thinking about their kids and their grandkids. So
Darvin Ham spoke to the fact he was like, "Yo, that bag, the people they don't know bags at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like money talks. You feel me? Like 500,000 is 500,000. Let one of them niggas get fined 500,000. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? We see them get fined for 25,000 to get to complaining. Like, it's still 25K regardless of how much they make. So 500K, bro, that goes a long way, bro. They want that for sure.
So what do you think? Motivations aside, Pelicans, Lakers, what are your predictions?
Lakers. Hey, look, we might need to have a conversation on where we are at with the believing the lie meter, because this Bron that we're seeing so far this season, man, hey,
it's not just Bron. It's the length defensively. Now that they're healthy again, it's Austin Reeves with the pressure of having to defend other teams' best guards taken off of him coming off the bench. Like I don't even think it's a lie, bro. I mean, they're fourth place in the West right now, and they genuinely have some things upside wise. They're fourth in the West without really having had their roster together for most of the season. Right. So I don't know. I think I'm pretty optimistic, to be honest.
I mean, what we saw him do last night, I don't think Bron can do that regularly. You know what I mean? And so I don't think we need AD to be the best player on the team. I think we just needed him carry him during certain stretches. But AD isn't healthy. You know what I mean? He doesn't stay healthy. So there's an issue there. But I think Bron just can't do what he did on a nightly basis, like, what he did last night on a nightly basis. I don't think he's 21 years in the league. So I think that's the issue. You know what I mean? I think, like, the person we need to carry
see this week.
Isn't is less healthy than Bron. You feel me?
That's fair, but Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we'll see this week. Got 3 games. They clearly are signaling we care as much about this as we would about any other postseason kind of a thing.
No, they could win the tourney. I'm talking about, I think the believe the lie is not the Gary O'Brien, but the Larry O'Brien. Are we still talking about the Gary or the Larry? What we on? Because I was talking about the Larry. I wasn't talking about the Gary. No. He can win the Gary. He can do it for 2 more nights. I don't know about the Larry, though. You feel me?
I mean, I don't even know if this is a hot take, but I think, like, Denver is probably the only team that can bounce the Lakers if they play like this.
Yeah,
in the West.
Yeah, in the West. Yeah,
I don't know that they could score with the Bucks. You know, I mean, like, but yeah, in the West, I totally agree with you.
I'm talking West playoffs, not the
West Conference. In the West, to me, is the Nuggets and the Lakers for sure.
Y'all think the Timberwolves get them out of there? Y'all got Minnesota beating them?
The fuck out of here.
Mike was actually mad. If you're watching YouTube, look at Mike's face when I said that. Fuck out of here. He was angry.
But I do like, because I mean, it's interesting because Laker fans either have two modes: irrational overconfidence or irrational shitting themselves. Like, there's no in between. And so I have a lot of friends who are kind of like what Tyler said, like sort of tiptoeing into it. You know, like, how are we feeling? And I go, are you worried about the Oklahoma City Thunder's collection of 20 years? Like, no, like, serious question. Like, look at the West right now. Who are you worried about as a Lakers fan?
Minnesota,
the Nuggets,
Oklahoma, the Nuggets. That's that's about. And you don't care about. All you care about is Nuggets for sure.
The Nuggets. So so again, like, I understand the Lakers. You know, you're a fan, whatever. Like, the expectation is championships, but you put my team in the Western Conference Finals year in, year out. Shit happens, bro. I feel good about, chances of contending at that point. But I would say this, but the Nuggets are fucking terrifying.
Yeah, for sure. It's looking too easy for them.
Yeah.
If Bron can stay, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I just think we can't keep doing the Bron can't keep doing this when he does doing it.
No,
like,
he hasn't though.
Like,
no, I think he reaches his.
He had a bad foot last postseason,
and
bro.
the year before that he was hurt too. And that's what I'm saying is if he has to play like this for wins throughout the year, he can't stay healthy.
I don't think with the roster together, I don't think that. I mean, knock on wood. I mean, it's hard to say, bro, because he's been playing so well. It's like you can't really like. Fair enough. Without him last night, they sucked.
He looked great last year until he got hurt. I mean, he was averaging 30 a game. You feel me? But the year before that, he was incredible too. You feel me? Like, and was it last year? The last 3 years he's been hurt in the playoffs.
Not this year, though.
Okay.
Sounds like
and
that
I hope you're right, bro.
Being believed, baby.
And I hope right.
That's the difference. Is this year?
Yeah. I hear you. But that's my only issue. It's not Bron's quality of play. You know what I'm saying? I believe Bron has that. He can drop a 40 ball if necessary. I feel like he has that in him still. I'm just saying that he can't play the way he played last night consistently, or the night before when they hear this. You know what I'm saying? Consistently. So.
Yeah. All right. Any other?
And I hope he makes a big ass lie of me like Katie made a lie of us.
Or the Nuggets.
Yeah.
I mean, the Nuggets so completely last year, because it wasn't even. I didn't even think it was like a hot take when we were saying like, hey, historically teams with this defensive rating don't do well in the playoffs. Like, I didn't even think it was a hot take, and they so thoroughly disproved 6 decades of NBA history with the way they went through the postseason that they completely changed the way I see the NBA playoffs. Like, I have friends arguing about, did the Bucks lose too much defense by getting rid of Drew Holiday? I'm like, who cares? Who cares about defense?
As long as you can score more than the other team.
It doesn't. That's not the sport anymore, bro. So anyway, you guys have any other Oh, John, so you've got Lakers as well?
I got Lakers for.
Okay, so all 3 of us are on the Lakers. Jackson, are you also a contrarian in picking the Pelicans?
No.
Who do you think wins it all?
I think the Lakers.
Milwaukee does.
I think the Lakers do, just because I think Tyrese Haliburton's star sort of runs out against Anthony Davis. But
I'm going with the Lakers, man.
I'm gonna go with the Lakers too. We're fucking invincible right now.
Yeah, well, who gives a fuck if I'm wrong or right?
We might not lose a game for the rest of the season.
Hell fucking yeah, Mike.
Yeah, all right.
In the NBA, the game can change in an instant, but no matter how the action unfolds, DraftKings Sportsbook has your back. This week, new customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets just for betting $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Jenkins, Jenkins. Jenkins. New customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code Jenkins. The crown is yours.